Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina, and today is January the 5th. Well, good morning, Coco. Good morning. I have a few things to share with you today. I have been working on some prompts in this Cheryl McKinney's group. We are doing a scavenger hunt this year, and it's a year-long thing, but we have 50 prompts that we have to find, items that we have to find, 20 of them inside, 20 outside, and 10 could be either of our choice, inside or outside things. So I have been working on a couple of those, but here's the kicker. Every time you work on one of those prompts for the scavenger hunt, it has to be on one of 3 projects that you picked before you knew what you were picking them for. Other than, there were 3 projects that you wanted to work on and get a lot of progress on this year. So I am really excited about this because I picked 3 fairly large projects, one of which is a gift that I need to finish this year from my friend Cheryl. So I am excited to say I've gotten work on 2 of those projects already with working on my 3 prompts. So the first one that I was able to work on was Christmas Garden. And that will give you a reminder of what that is. It's so beautiful. It is a Blackbird design. I know several of you have done it, so you've seen it around. But I've just finally gotten started on mine. I've had it over a year wanting to work on it. And so now I was able to get a little more progress done on mine. Here it is. I finished this border the last time. So I came over here and I started down this border, and then I came across the top and started working on those motifs going across the very top of the piece. So I'm really excited about this one. I think it is beautiful. The colors are just lovely, and it's an easy one to stitch. So I'm really, really happy about getting to work on it. I wanted to share that progress with you. Then the next day, I started working again on another piece that I've been wanting to get some work done on. And I didn't have time to film about this first one before I started working on the second one. So this is a little different. Today, you're going to get to see progress, a little bit of progress on 3 different whips, all in one time. This is more reminiscent of when I used to do everything at one time. So I hope you're okay with that. The second one that I'm sorry, I hit the camera. Let me cut that out. Okay. The second one that I worked on was also for Cheryl's group, and it is one of my 3 projects, and you'll recognize it because I've shared it on here several times. It's Friends by Bob Timberlake. And I have a story to share with you really quickly about this. One of my viewers has been watching me get started on this, and she actually found 2 little drums like this, that one has Raggedy Andy's face on it and the other one has Raggedy Ann's face on it. And she sent those to me for my friend Cheryl to go with this piece. So excited. Don't know what to do. So I had thought, and I still may not be able to finish this until Christmas this year for my friend, but with this challenge that Cheryl has given us, we can work on any of these 3 things that we identified to hit any of those challenges. And there are 200 or 300 stitches to consider that challenge complete. So if I work on this more than, once or twice a month, I actually might be able to finish this by her birthday, but I would have to work on it an awful lot. So we will see. I don't know if I'm going to try that or not, but I'm going to see how far I can get on it in this month, and then that'll help me decide. But this is where I got to so far. I had just started on the green, and so I worked all my stitches in the green this time. And I think my goal is to go ahead and get this all the way across here, and then come on down and get the middle done, and then hit the page break, and then I can kind of gauge whether or not I think I can get the rest of it done by her birthday. It is the end of March, so I would have all of January, February, and most of March before I would have to mail it to her. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a lot of stitching. But this is my progress on it. This is the first full coverage I've ever done, and it is small. And I'm doing it just normal stitching from top to bottom. I'm not doing diagonal or anything like that the way I am on my Haid. So that's where I am with that. And I'll be working on this again today. I've decided to do it for my full coverage on the 5th for Stitch Mania instead of my Haid, simply because I'm going to see if I can work on it enough to try to finish it this year. And my third whip that I've been working on is a new start in the month of December. I started it with a Sal, and it is Winter Quakers. And that's what it looks like, and it is done with Baldani threads. And so I started where they suggested in this top corner here. And I started working on my second large motif, and that's the amount that I got done. Anyway, we'll see how I like it. I'm definitely going to finish it that way because I think that's what makes it pop so much off the fabric is how thick it is. So for the effect that I'm going to get, I'm going to keep going with it. But now I'll give you a close-up of it. That's where I'm at. So that's the progress that I have made so far on all my stitching since January 1st. And I also wanted to share with you an additional Happy Mail. So I had a viewer send me the prettiest card. She knows that I collect Jim Shore items, and she actually sent me a Jim Shore card. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. So I have that to explain to me that she got this because it reminded her of Coco. When all else fails, beg. Coco's very good at that. It's a full kit. I love it. She had given me permission to either stitch it or pass it, whatever I wanted to do. And I will be stitching this one. It is too cute. And I like it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. She was one of the winners of one of my giveaways, and this was her thank you. And I think she also sent me one of those, in fact, I know she did. She sent me one of the ball tip needles to try. And it is a 22 size, and I had been gifted size 24 through Cheryl McKinney's group when we did our wish list. And so now I've got two sizes to try, and I have been trying them, and I'm trying to decide what's the best time to use them. I thought they would be perfect with my Baldani threads, but they're not. The eyes are too small. You can't get the threads through. But I am trying them out on different mediums with different types of thread, and I'll see. They do split the fabric beautifully, but I have found they're a little bit harder to loop back under when you're trying to tie off your threads. I do the bordello tuck where you go under 2 or 3 threads and wrap around one and go under 1 or 2 more just to hold that thread for you. And it's very difficult to do that with it. It doesn't like to pick up threads that way. So we'll see. But I really, really appreciate your thoughtfulness, Shelley. You didn't have to do this, but thank you. Thank you for thinking of me. So that's it for today. Today I have a fun day ahead of me. My husband's actually singing a solo this morning, and so he's gone on to church early. And my son and I are going to go listen to him sing, of course, and I'll be in the choir. And then my son and I are going to go see the new Star Wars movie. And my husband's going to keep this little one that you hear over here wanting my attention. And yeah, see? And so he's going to take care of her. I don't know if she'll let me pick her up, but we'll see if I can get her on camera for you. Coco, can I hug you? Can I hug you? Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Let me see the baby. Look how big she's gotten, folks. She's really gotten large. She's about 20 pounds now. And this is my baby. She's not so little anymore, but she is precious. She's so precious. So this is who my husband's going to take hiking today, so that Jeremy and I can go to the movies. So, hey, doll. Hey. So, anyway, it'll be a fun day for her, and it's going to be a fun day for my son and I. And then my husband's going to go on a nice, big, long hike. Let me let you down. Let me let you down. Don't jump. And so he'll be gone for several days, and Coco and I are going to be hanging out together, just the girls, for a few days. And my son will help, of course, in the evenings, but he'll be at work, most of the time. So it'll mainly be Coco and I. And so I don't know how much stitching she's going to let me get, but she's pretty good. She is. She's pretty good about letting me stitch, especially in the evening after she's wound down from the day. Then she'll usually let me stitch a couple of hours. She's just not the camera, I'm sorry. But anyway, I thought you might like to get to see her, since y'all have expressed so much interest in her, and I thank you for doing that. And in the meantime, I hope you are enjoying everything you stitch. Happy stitching. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, how are you? This is Tina. Today is Monday. It is the 6th of January, and today has been a pretty busy day. I took Coco to get her nails trimmed, so she had her nails done today. And my son helped me. He was off today, so he went with me, and we dropped her off to get her nails done, and then he got breakfast real quick, and then we went right back and got her. But the other big thing we've done today, in addition to me doing some grocery shopping, is that my husband is packing to go on a little vacation, a little mini vacation to Washington, D.C. So I'll be missing him the next few days, especially with the help that he is so good with Coco and takes her walking and exercising and stuff. So I'll miss that a lot. But I've been busy in the last couple of days, and I wanted to share with you an FFO. You saw the Be Thankful when I finished stitching it, but this is the picture frame that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and it's just one of those frames that I've told you about before, where you can just undo the back of it and put your cross stitch in. This one is a little bit snug, but it'll be fine. And I've got it all nice and pinned, and even the glass fit in there, even with my buttons. And I got it to close, so I'm really excited about this for Thanksgiving next year, and I can wrap it up and put it in my seasonal storage. But I wanted to share it with you. I have one piece left to frame, and that's Jumping Jack Frost, and I'll try to get to that as soon as I have a little time while the puppy's asleep, because you have to measure and pin and pin, and that takes some concentration. So today I got to stitch a little bit, and I stitched on a prompt in Cheryl McKinney's closed group. That's the 30-minute daily Sal group. And today I was working on the prompt for celebrating the decades, and today's prompt for me was the 60s for the Beatles. Well, the 60s. I picked the Beatles. They began in the 1960s, and I remember a lot about them. That was in my lifetime. And one of the things that I always thought was so odd looking was the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover. And so I picked up on that when we have to research things that have happened in that decade and then pick a whip that we feel like would represent that. So for me, the whip that represented that the most was my 12 Days of Christmas from Jim Shore, because I feel like the characters in the skirt, the coat of Santa Claus that's representing all those 12 days of Christmas, are kind of dressed like those characters in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So this is the one I worked on today, and I just wanted to share it with you because on this side I have hit the page break right here with the swan in the water, and now the soldier coming in right here. I've gone below the page break, but I think you may recall that I told you I thought I got off a stitch somewhere in here, and I want to make sure all these things are going to fit together appropriately. So I had to come down here to stitch this little soldier next, because once I stitch the soldier, then I'll move over here and stitch the other one in with him. Let's see, this is the Piper that I'm working on right now. And then the next one is the Lords of Leaping. And I have to get that Lord of Leaping in here before I can stitch the rest of those gold rings, because the gold rings are in the background. So I have to stitch the Lord of Leaping here and the Lady Dancing here to make sure that all those rings fit correctly. But I did get the swan completely done except for back stitching, and I have started on the soldier right here, the Pipers. So not too shabby. I got quite a bit done, and it's going fairly quickly. I was really happy with that today. It's moving along, and it's exciting because this figure right here that I've started, there's his hat, his face, and this is his arm down here. The bottom of that figure, there is a border, and that's the bottom of the piece. So when I said the page break on my pattern, I felt like was more than halfway. It was way more than halfway. So I'm real excited about that. And I don't intend to stitch the gold border all the way around here. I'm going to let my mat do that. I will probably just end it with these pretty squares in the background. I don't think I'm going to stitch another border past that. I just think that looks nice and patchworky, and I like it. So who knows? This should be a finish for sure in 2020. Not right away, but it should be one fairly easily by the end of the year. And you can see I have gotten rid of some of my part threads now. I only have 2 left over here. So I'm excited about that. I may pick up and actually work on those next time just to get them out of the way. Well, I'm going to call it a night. It's, you know, getting a little bit later here, and I have to get up very early in the morning to see my husband off. And so I'll be doing that. But I just wanted to share with you my FFO and my whip for the day. And I hope that you have had a good day of stitching. I do have our community pantry this coming week. I have help with it, but I've already had some people call who say they couldn't be there, and so I may wind up going in and working it anyway. So I don't know if that's going to limit my stitching a bit, but not having my husband home is going to limit it, because I'll have to be on dog duty, you know, the whole time. And she's just a little baby, you know, she's only 5 months old, so she wants constant attention. So we'll see how much stitching I get in the next few days. Oh, but whatever it is, I'll share it with you. Thanks for taking the journey with me. I'm very excited about it. 2020 is shaping up already in the beginning to be very different for me than 2019. I've been really back into stitching for sales in the different groups, much more so than stitching in the School of Magical Stitches. I'm not finding a lot of those prompts, things that I have whips to go with. I think part of it is the new subject matter, or I just haven't gotten into it yet. I don't know, but I'll have to just kind of let you know how that goes. I did work really hard on trying to get the stitches to help open all of the parks and the rides and things like that we're doing. I've really been working on that more than I have the prompts. So it's more of the group working together, you know, to accomplish something. And I've enjoyed that, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm enjoying reading your comments from my last video where people are sharing their plans. And one lady actually said that she's planning to do a March Madness this March where she starts several Christmas tree ornaments. And so I've been thinking about that because I do want to do some Christmas ornaments this year. And I found a couple of sales in my Facebook groups where they want you to start something new, and I've slotted those for Christmas tree ornaments. But the March Madness sounds kind of interesting to me. So who knows, I may start some of those too. Then I'll have so much Christmas stitching you won't see anything else. Wouldn't that be a bore for you? I'd love it because I love Christmas. But I do want to keep my variety going. And so thanks for many of you who shared your categories with me and said you're going to kind of stitch in some categories this year. That was fun to see too. So keep sharing with me your plans as you make them. I'm enjoying watching all of the planning videos from everyone too. I hope you are. Happy stitching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dina, and today is January the 10th. This is my 3-year anniversary on FlossTube. Exactly 3 years ago today I posted my first video. So I wanted to do a bit of a celebration and share with you a giveaway to celebrate 3 years on FlossTube. So the very first pattern that I want to share with you is something that I recently stitched for a friend, and she stitched for me. And I just recently shared the finish of it, the fully finished project, framed and everything on my recent video. So this is called This Is My Happy Place. So if you would like to be included in the drawing for this, just put in your comment what your happiest place is. Just tell me what your happiest place is of all, and I'll put you in for the drawing on that one. The second one is something that I had a lot of compliments on, a lot of comments on, and I think that people would really enjoy stitching it. And it's coming up on the season where you might want to start it. So this is my Glendon Place Simply Love. I did mine on Bashful, and it is done here. It's charted for silks, and I actually have my leftover silks that I will be glad to pass along with the pattern. It's probably not enough silk to do it again, but it's probably a good portion of the silk, and that could help you kit it up much easier. So I will include the silk with this one. I don't have fabric for you, but I do have the silk. So that is called Simply Love. So if you want to be included for this drawing, then tell me some sort of comment using the words Simply Love or Love, and I'll know you're interested in this one. And the third one is sort of my biggie that I would like to share with you. My finished is sitting right here. This is the Mirabilia Seaside Kingdom. It is pristine. I made a working copy, and so this looks completely untouched. And I would love to pass it along to someone who would really like to stitch it. And if you're interested in being in the drawing for this one, then if you will just give me your favorite seaside that you vacation at or have visited in your life. Just make sure you use the word seaside in your comments. And that's how you get to participate in my 3-year anniversary. Pretty excited about it. I checked right before I started filming to see how many subscribers I might have after 3 years, and it rounds them up now on your home page, and so it's got me at 4.79 subscribers, 4.79K subscribers. So we're closing in on 5,000. I think that would be an awesome another celebration. So that's my next celebration that I will do and share some of my stash with you. So I hope you'll participate on any one of those three charts that you're interested in, or all three. All the normal rules apply. Please be a subscriber. Please be over the age of 18. And if you want to put your name in for all three, that's fine. But if I draw your name, then I won't award you a second or third gift. You know, we want at least three people to get to win a prize, 3 for 3 years. So I thought that would be fun. And that is my celebration in a nutshell. I have been working on something that I'll share with you now too. I've been working on Quiet Please, and I'll show you how far I've gotten so far. Started on this crown, and I did this row all the way over here. The only motif on this row was this one, and I did all of this, and then today I've done the R. All I've done today is the R. But today's been a busy day, and I've had a lot to do with my puppy today. She lost another tooth, and it was hanging by a thread, and she kept, using her tongue to try to knock it out, and I wound up pulling her tooth for her today. It was quite a bonding moment, I think. But anyway, had a wonderful day. I've been doing a lot of committee work here at home, getting ready for my next meetings and things like that. It actually felt like work again, like I had meetings all week and then had to stay home all day and do work for it. But I love it, and what I'm working on I love. And I got to talk to my sister this morning, so it's been a great day, a great day. My son is actually babysitting Coco for me to get this video filmed. So I'm going to go out and join the two of them and, just be a part of that for a little bit. So I just wanted to pop in and tell you about my anniversary celebration, ask you to participate if you're interested, and share with you what I've been stitching the last couple of days. And I hope you're stitching. I hope you're enjoying what you're stitching. And I'm going to go back and this evening and stitch some more on this piece. So you may get to see it again before too long. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye. Good evening, everyone. This is Dina. I am back for an update. I have a finish, and I wanted to share it with you. It is the 11th of January, and I have been working for about 4 days on this piece because I had scheduled myself to get 3 days this month on it. And when I got to the end of the 3rd day, I was so close to a finish, I couldn't put it down. So this is a Quaker piece. I'm not sure who the designer is because it was a freebie. My friend Glow had shared the website with me, and I have put the reference on where you could find it in the video where I first introduced it. I don't remember what it is now, but I will show you my finish. Now this piece was a freebie in black and white. There was no color key to it. So what I did is I chose to use a Karen Water Lilies from my stash, and it's Black Forest. I think you can see the green, dark green, blue, brown look there, Black Forest. And then I chose DMC 823 and DMC 32 to go with it because I felt like that blue and purple really went well with these dark purple, green, and gray pieces. So that was how I picked my threads because I wanted something to go on this beautiful heather fabric from Picture This Plus. I had more than I needed, as you can tell. This is folded in half, so I have the whole bottom half to do something else with. It is 32 count, and so it made it a nice, small, compact piece, and I did this for my sewing room. I think that shows you a pretty good bit of the variegation. I was going to try to get it close where you could see how it went from blue to green, and a little touch of brown in there. Just very subtle and very pretty. And then I have pops of the blue and purple in the smaller motifs. But all of the Quaker motifs that are the typical, geometric patterns, they're all variegated, and the lettering is variegated with the Karen water lilies. So I think that was lovely. And then, of course, I substituted my own initials at the bottom. So that's my finish. It is my second finish of 2020. My first was a small from Lizzie Kate's 3 Little Words series that I've been working on. And so this is more of what I would consider more of a medium project. And so I've gotten that one finished out of the whips that I carry forward. An unanticipated finish, which is wonderful. So I hope you are having as good a start to your January as I am. And I will check in next time with you to share with you what I've been stitching. In the meantime, I wish you well and happy stitches. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today is Monday. It is January 13th, and this is a channel about cross stitch. And my name is Dina, so I welcome you if you're returning. I'm really glad you came back for a visit, and if you're new, I've had some new subscribers recently. Thank you for joining. I hope that you will see something here that you enjoy. Well, today I have a wonderful report. My week has gotten off in a big way. I've worked on a couple of prompts in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. And I hope you don't mind terribly that I share with you what my prompts are, even though one of them is a closed group, simply because it is how I'm making decisions on what I stitch. And so I'd love to share that with you. But there are several groups I'm in that aren't closed, and I encourage you, if you want to stitch on prompts, that you go and look at 24 hours of cross stitch. And if you like to do what I call a SAL, it's basically like a prompt, but it's a date that Cross Stitch Finish Line will pick out a theme or a topic or something and suggest that's what you stitch on. And you get to pick whatever you want to meet that, of course. But there's a lot of activity there, and in Stitch Mania, and also even in Stitch from Stash, I've been working in there on some prompts as well. And that can help you, decide on what you want to stitch on today. No different than, your Tiny Decisions app or your Whip Go, or there are a lot of ways that you can have some inspiration out there. So I encourage you to do that if that's what you like. If you would rather just pick whatever you want to do that day, then that is the way you should go. I find this is just exciting because I make sure that I get to stitch on things I want to, but it just encourages me to get a little more done, I think. So my 2 prompts I was working on today came from the same Facebook group, Cheryl McKinney's group, but it was prompts that are in a weekly, she puts out every 2 weeks, she puts out a topic and has prompts underneath that after you read the little story that she's tied ideas to for you to stitch for. And she'll actually put something out every week, and it runs for 2 weeks. So you can be working on more than one of her assignments at a time, which is a lot of fun. But today I worked on what she called Spaghetti Week, and I have until the 17th of this month to hit the prompts, and I chose to go for 6 of them. And today I got 2 of them, so with the same project. One of the things I worked on was for the prompt to stitch on something that has some sort of storage. And the second prompt was stitch on something that makes you happy. Well, everything I have makes me happy. So I decided that I would do both prompts on this one because that would make me very happy to get that many stitches into this piece. and it's My Little Neighborhood. This one's one of my older whips. And so I had finished this top row with the border down to here the last time you saw it. So today, for my first prompt, I came down, I had to roll up my scroll rods, and I did the chimneys and the roof and started, and this little line here, showing the edge of the house, and then I started doing around the windows. I did a couple of windows, and this little star, if you can see it right in the middle of the house. I'm not sure you can see it yet, maybe there you can. When I fill in the house, it'll really show, but I got that done for my first prompt. And it was actually 352 stitches, so I met the prompt for 300 stitches. And that means I'll earn 3 tokens for that. And then the second prompt, I was able to go ahead and stitch a little bit longer. I decided to stitch the rest of the day that I had, the time I had to stitch on this same piece, and I just stitched the rest of the time. So I actually got 428 stitches by finishing all the windows, not just on the outline, but all the inside and the door frame. And that totaled 428 stitches when I got done. So all total today on this piece, I have gotten 780 stitches today. So that's pretty cool. That made me very happy, Cheryl. So the other thing that has happened because of this is, if you'll notice now, this house has this big block that's going to be one color. The door's one color and the rest of the house is one color. And I have a stitching meetup Saturday. So that was perfect timing. And one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and finish stitching on all the smaller parts so that I would have that big block of color to stitch on when I get to my stitching meetup this Saturday. So that'll be fun. It'll be the first one. Our group is meeting up for the year 2020, our first one. So I'm very excited about that. So I'll be taking this with me, and so you may get to see it again soon, just with the rest of the house stitched. Well, my week has gotten off to a great start that way. I'm really happy with the progress, but it's also gotten off to a great start for other reasons. I had a message on Facebook Messenger this week that a friend of mine from way back, we worked together in nonprofits and volunteered together many years back when I lived in Macon, Georgia. And I lived in Warner Robins for 18 after that. So it's been a long time since we've actually spent a lot of time together. We've talked on the phone. I think we've seen each other once in person since she moved, she and her husband. They have family here in Gainesville, and they are actually coming to visit. And so while they're here, they have eked out time to meet my husband and I for lunch. And so I am very excited about that. It'll be next week before they get here, next Monday, but that's just a week from today. So we've made plans on where we're going to meet and what time, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll look forward to seeing my friends. I'll have to give you an update on how they're doing. But in the meantime this week, just on another note, my husband and I have decided to tackle some of those chores that you don't like to do. We've lived in this house now for a couple of years, and so we've learned, where we've stored things when we first moved in isn't always the most convenient place. And so we are on a major reorganization kick. And I have reorganized my closet already while my husband was out of town. And he has reorganized our linen closet. He helped me do that before he left town. And then today, he and I got busy and we reorganized the garage, part of the garage where my storage was for some of my kitchen items, like my big food processor and things like that won't fit in my kitchen cabinets. And I have a small washroom laundry room that has a really nice size closet in it. And I had stored, I was kind of using it as an extra place to store all my kitchen things because I have a small kitchen. I came from a very large kitchen. And I wasn't willing to give up everything. So I put a lot of stuff in that little bitty room, that extra closet. So today we reorganized that, and I packed up quite a few things to put down in storage downstairs in our extra storage space in the garage that's down on the back of our house, off the apartment where my son lives, and just made some good decisions on what I'm going to use and what I'm not really going to use. If I have a special occasion, my husband can run down and get anything I need. He's assured me of that, but it's just really made everything a lot neater and just cleaned out that closet. And so that was a big undertaking today. Also, yesterday while my husband took my puppy for a walk, I cleaned out the guest room closet because that's where all of my gift wrap is stored. I have a cart in there with my gift wrap in it, but the bows and some of my gift bags and things like that don't fit in the cart, and so I have clear, Tupperware or plastic bins with that in there. And at Christmas it got kind of crazy. I couldn't wrap very easily with my puppy, so I would have to sneak in there while she was otherwise occupied with another family member, and I was trying to wrap really quick. And then I would try to put everything back in the closet so she would not get it and eat it. And in the course of doing that, as you know, you just push stuff into where there's a hole big enough for it to fit. So everything got kind of mismatched. And so I spent a little time Sunday afternoon cleaning that out. It looks a lot nicer. It's back together. It's back organized. So I have one closet left. This one in here, my sewing room closet. And I've already reorganized it once since moving in here because I just put everything in there when I first moved here, got it as functional as I thought I could. And then I reorganized it because I started wanting to store my whips on my scroll rods. I just loosen them up and I store them on a hook that hangs from one of my wire shelves. So these hang like this in my closet to keep them from getting dusty or getting knocked over or stepped on or eaten by my little one. So I need to redo that again. The way I'm storing things is sort of evolving, and so I need some time to work on that, and that is the last one for this week. So I'm looking forward to a great week. I hope you are. I hope you get lots of stitching in. And whatever I get done, I'll share with you. Happy stitching, everyone.